Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be a part 2 of the first Q&A video that I did about Japanese hair straightening. I'm going to try to keep the video as short as possible. First of all, can we get a round of applause for my new hair color? I was a little bit nervous, but I have warmed up. I have warmed up to it and I like it now. First question I'm going to start with hair straightening. It varies from hair to hair. So if you have my hair type, you have really thick, I would say Irish hair. Irish women tend to have really coarse, thick hair that is similar to Afro, but the only difference is that it's straight and it's like so much of it, and it can be quite it can be quite difficult to deal with than an Afro hair. And this is coming from a stylist that do all backgrounds hair. So you have Irish hair, you have Afro hair, you have mixed race hair. These type of hair type can take anything from 5 hours, I would say, I wouldn't even say 4 hours, 5 hours to 7 hours. Then again, Afro to Afro is different, or mixed race to mixed race hair is different. Some people's hair, it looks scary, but the time you touch it to do is actually straightforward and it's easy. If you have your normal European hair, it can also vary. It can take anything. Again, it depends on how thick the person's hair is also. And then also we also need to consider if the hair has color in it, because if the hair has already been processed with chemicals, the hair tends to react to chemicals quite easy. But if you have virgin hair tends to be very resistant. So virgin hair will always take longer than someone that already has chemical in their hair. So it can go from any time from 3 hours to about, let's say, about 8 hours. Back to pricing wise, this is what I said in my previous video. If your stylist is doing a great job and they are charging a lot, pay them. If they're going to do the job wonderful and they're going to give you the result that you are after, please pay and do not discount the work, because it leaves the stylist out of pocket if they have to spend 4 hours to about 7 hours just doing your hair and not take any other client. That means it's putting them basically out of business, because if they don't do your hair, they can do about 5 to 6 people within the day and make double the money. Okay, so how long does the Japanese hair straightening last? Again, it varies hair to hair. On my hair myself, I tend to touch my hair every 3 to 4 months, and then it depends. If I really want to stretch it out, I stretch it out to about 4 months and a half. But after 4 months and a half, you will see from my roots, it sort of lifts and then it just does that. At the moment, I got a bit of roots, so my hair is not sitting properly. Normally when I have it done, my hair will sit something like that, quite flat to my face, but I got a bit of a regrowth that I just keep straightening out because I'm trying to extend it to 4 months. So it varies. So if you have someone that already got kind of like straight hair ish, they can wear it anything between 6 months, I would say 12 months or even more. I have a client, she barely has a curl, she has a wave. She gets to wear hers for about, I think, 18 months, and she's due to come and see me next week actually. So she gets to wear hers longer. Again, it depends from hair to hair, and it also depends on how quickly your hair grows. If you have a hair growth that grows really fast, then you'll come back sooner. But then the people who tend to come back sooner are people with my hair type and people with mixed race hair, just because the curl, once it starts growing here, you can't really cover it. Than to say on English hair, where even if it goes curly here, they can just do a bit of blow dry, the hair will look presentable. But on Afro, it varies. Again, different Afro type sits differently, so some people are able to go longer and some people are not. I have a client who has mixed race hair, and what she does is, because she kind of likes the puff and the big ness of it all. So what she does is, once she starts getting the roots, when she washes her hair, she puts her hair in 2 braids and then she takes it out and she has the wave and everything kind of blends. So I think it's about finding techniques, so you prolong how long you come back and have it done. I hope that answers it. I hope I didn't ruffle. too much. Next question is, how soon after having the Japanese hair straightening can I wash my hair or get my hair wet? I say to most of my client is 24 hours. I know a lot of the places they'll say 48, 3 days before you do anything, but I would say 24, just because what are you actually waiting for? You're just waiting for the hair to kind of set, give the hair a break from, either blow drying it again or running irons through it again. But everything is done in a salon. You don't leave the salon with no chemicals on your hair or no products in your hair. Everything is done in the salon. I just say give your hair 24 hours break before you do anything to it. And then in terms of water and stuff like that, you can't, because if it does come in contact with the water, it can go frizzy. The only clients who I say 48 hours to are clients who are obsessed. When I mean obsessed, they are obsessed with having poker straight hair. So if you are obsessed with your hair remaining poker straight, then I'll say wait 48 hours before you do anything. But if you don't care so much, you just want the frizz to be gone and you want your hair to be straight-ish, I'll say 24 hours, go back to using your hair as normal. But normally they say you can't do this to your hair, you can't put your hair in a ponytail, you can't do nothing. Your hair is basically a baby for the first 24 hours. If you are not too fussy, I normally say to the client, go ahead, do what you want. If you want your hair silk perfect, then I say you can't do anything for 48 hours. Let the hair set before you do your next wash by yourself. I hope. How does the Japanese hair straightening work? So, from my knowledge and from my understanding, is that the first solution always goes in, breaks the bonds, and then the part that makes your hair straight is the ironing part. So, the ironing part of the whole process is the crucial part. It's the part that you, like, your stylist has to make sure that it's done properly, because if it's not done properly, A, your hair will still remain frizzy, and B, you will still have curls and your hair will not, your hair's basically not going to get processed properly. That's the easiest way to put it. So the ironing part and the first solution part is the most crucial part of the whole process of the whole process. The next question is, does the YUKO hair straightening work on all hair type? The answer is yes, it does. Um, it, I'm a stylist that do every background's hair, and I think I have lost count on how many clients I have done it on, but I have done it on almost all hair type. Again, research the person that's doing your hair. Do not just sorry, I'm gonna fix my hair because I thought it looks a little bit weird. Research on the person that is doing your hair. Do not just sit on anyone's chair. Do not walk into a salon just because they say we do Japanese hair straightening, you sit and have it done. Do not go to a salon just because they are famous on Instagram or they seem popular, or I don't know, or maybe I have had clients that have gone to Harrods and then came back crying and saying, oh, I thought because it's Harrods that my hair was going to come out properly. Research is important. Make sure you know the person that's doing it. Make sure you know the history. Make sure you see the client that they have previously done. Check the work, and maybe check with the clients that previously had it done with them. I have new clients, before they come to me, they secretly message some of my client, and then my client will come back and be like, oh, do you know so and so, did they come to you, they message me to, to get my opinion on your work, or my opinion on my hair after I had it done with you. One thing about me, I value my work so much. If I do somebody's hair and I feel that I didn't do it properly, or it didn't come out to how I wanted it to come out, believe me, my clients will tell you, I will check in, I'll get them to come back, and I will redo it. I never want to be the hairstylist that people make TikTok over, or I went to Hair by Noella and this is what I asked for and this is what I got. I never, ever want to be that. I value never to be that hairstylist, because I value my job. I love what I do. So if somebody's coming and they're coming to have their hair done with me, My job is to give them the money's worth. So on my side, if I'm going to give you your money's worth, if I'm charging, I want a client to be happy to pay, knowing that they're going to receive what they have asked for. The next one is Japanese hair straightening damaging? The answer to that one is no. The answer to that one is definitely no, because the Japanese hair straightening does not damage your hair. If you come with damaged hair, your hair gets damaged more. If you have the Japanese hair straightening done, you don't look after your hair will damage and your hair will not get better. If you don't follow up, even if you don't, I said this on my previous video, even if you don't have the Japanese hair straightening done, you have a normal color like I have put on my hair, or you have a bleach done, if I do not look after my hair will damage more. This is what I think a lot of girls fail to understand. Once you have a chemical service, it does not matter what chemical service it was. Your job is to take care of your hair. If your stylist don't tell you what products to buy or what you should be doing, then maybe you can say, well, my stylist did my hair and did not really advise me on what I should do. Most of my client will speak for me. I always ask, what are you using at home? How often do you wash your hair? And when you wash your hair, how long do you leave your hair mask on for? Do you use hair oils? All those stuff matter. So to answer, I would say no, it's not damaging unless your hair was already damaged. So if your hair was already damaged, it will damage your hair further. But then again, it's down to your stylist, whoever's doing your hair, to tell you that, hey, I think your hair is damaged. I think you should wait until the quality of your hair improved and maybe you can come and have this done. If the stylist don't tell you that and they still go ahead and do your hair, then maybe you can blame the stylist because you came with damaged hair and they did not prevent your hair from being more damaged. Um, so I will say no, it doesn't damage the hair. Do your weekly mask. Do your don't overwash your hair. Hair should be washed when hair feels dirty. Not just because you. I hear some clients, they'll be like, oh, I took buses, I took train today, so I feel dirty, I want to wash my hair. Overwashing your hair is not good for your hair. Washing your hair twice a week to 3 times a week, if you must, is okay. Anything past three is too much. When you're washing your hair as well, I advise most clients, wash your hair on the day that you have time, on a day that you are not rushing to just do shampoo and conditioner and dry your hair and leave the house. Wash your hair when you at least have 2-3 hours to spare. Let the mask sit in your hair, let the oils nourish your hair. Allow the products to sit in your hair and do what it's supposed to be doing to your hair. Don't just do it for 5 minutes and leave it, and then you'll say to your stylist, but yeah, I'm using all these expensive shampoos and nothing's happening. That's because you're not allowing the products to sit in. I say to a lot of the clients also, if you use a lot of steam room, or even if you have a head steamer at home, put the hair mask on, sit under that, read a book, I don't know, or put a shower cap on and do housework and stuff like that, and allow your hair to take in all the goodness that you are giving it. If you're doing it in a rush, your hair will never, ever, ever love you back. I hope that answers it. I hope it did. I hope it did. Yeah. And so the next one is pricing. I say to you guys, everybody's pricing is different. Price starts from as little as 200. It can varies from salon to salon. But again, I say expensive doesn't mean good. Cheap doesn't also mean good. Just because it's in the prime location, like the most expensive location, I don't know, like in the UK, just because the salon's in Mayfair, Chelsea, it doesn't mean that they're going to do your hair amazing. No. Research, and ox to see work, ox to see, I don't know, go on Instagram, look at their job, look at what they're doing. Don't just look at me personally, even as a hairdresser, I will never go to a stylist that only post pictures, or a stylist that post their work but never post the finished result. and I will not go to a stylist that I don't see returning clients. Look on their Instagram, is the same client coming once or twice or three times? Have a look at that, because if you see somebody just they came in once, yeah, have they come back? And if they haven't come back, why haven't they come back? So you also have to ask those questions. Most of my clients have been with me 15 years. I'm not bragging for myself. um most of my clients have been with me 15 years plus. When my clients are coming, especially if I know this client has difficult hair, I know that it's a lot of time that I'm setting aside just for one client, but I take my time. If I'm giving that client 4 or 5 hours, that 4 or 5 hours is just you and me. And my client will tell you this. I never do a client where I'm doing a Japanese hair straightening and then I'm going here trying to fit in a blow dry to make more money. I don't do that. So my whole pricing range is that if I'm charging expensive and you are paying, but I am giving you what you're asking for and I'm giving you my time. So that's how I run my business. And for me personally, I think it works for me. If I say this is my price, you pay. Believe me, I will look after you the 5 hours you're with me. I'll make sure you have your tea and coffee. If you need someone to go and buy you lunch, I'll make sure you have that. You know, it's like your time. You're paying for the experience and you're paying to get what you have asked for. So I take my time. So if you are going to anyone else, make sure you are also getting that. Um, in terms of, I got a lot of question in what shampoo and conditioner we should be using. I personally do not like to recommend what shampoo and conditioner somebody should be using, just because I'm not with your hair every day. Just if I'm not with your hair every day, you are with your hair every day. I don't know if that's making sense. So you should be able to know what will work for your hair. The only advice I give most of my client is change your shampoo, and change your shampoo often. So buy small tub and keep changing shampoo until you find one that clicks. If you find one that works for your hair, do not also stick by it. You should change your shampoo every 2 to 3 months, because if you use the same one for a very long time, it stops working and it doesn't do the job. So consider shampoo and conditioner, or shampoo and hair mask, as you're taking paracetamol and Nurofen. It gets used to your body and it stops working. So you always have to do this with it. And then I also say, what you call it, conditioner should only be for the day that you don't have time. So when you don't have time, you're just washing your hair and you really have to get out the door and you have to go, use conditioner. But the day that you actually have time, like I said earlier, take time and nourish your hair. Use hair mask, use hair oil, and take your time, like literally love your hair. And the more you love your hair, the more your hair will love you back. And the more you look after your hair with the Japanese hair straightening, the more you're going to enjoy it long term. I don't have any, I have been doing it for about 15 years now. I don't have any client that have lost their hair. I don't have that. I don't have anyone's hair that has fallen off. I have never experienced that. um Most of my client, if I see that the hair is going a little bit dry, or the hair, it feels like it's not suitable for the treatment anymore, I tell them, okay, maybe this year you're only going to have it once until we get your hair back into a good condition, or I want you to do a big chop. So most of my client, before they even book a second appointment, I always say, can you send me a hair picture? Is your hair in good enough condition to do the treatment? So they know that they have to keep up on top of looking after their hair, because I do not want my client to be out there and people to look and be like, who does your hair? Why does your hair look like that? I don't want to go to that person. That's my biggest fear. That's like my biggest fear. I want, like, most of my client recommends me to their friends, or they have the friend coming to me. So I want, when people are looking at your hair, to be like, your hair looks nice. Who does your hair? I want to go to them. My hair looks good. I like my hair. I think that answers everything into details. You want to see a step by step Japanese hair straightening videos, or if you want to see me talk about anything else. But this is our little safe space to speak about hair. Any hair advice that you want. It doesn't just have to be Japanese hair straightening. The only reason I specialize in Japanese straightening is because I used to teach at a YUKO academy, so I have all the knowledge when it comes to it in the world, and I have been doing it for years, and I have clients that have stayed with me 10 years plus. So when it comes to Japanese hair straightening, I can answer anything you want. Um, but I cannot give you advice on how to do it at home on yourself. That's what some of the girls DM me. If you have decided to take it up on yourself and buy the products online to do it on your own hair, I am very sorry. I will not advise you on how to do it yourself at home, or if you did something wrong. I received an email from a young girl. She did something and she was wondering if she should do it again. I would not take that responsibility of telling you, yes, you should. I would just ignore that email respectfully. I can't even say the word. I would just ignore the email because that's not on me. I don't want you to go and then redo it again or do something and then be like, well, I emailed her by Noella and this is what she emailed me back. I will not be doing that. If you choose to do it at home and you don't do it properly, that's on you. Please do not email me asking me for advice on that. But thank you for watching. Let me know what you want to see next on my channel. Kisses.